What's up, duelists? It's your motherfucking boys. This is James and Keegan. What's up, James?
What's up? Hello.
Today we've got replay review of winners finals prostorm versus jeix. Prostorm is playing his hero deck. If you guys haven't checked out the top 8 deck list, make sure and peep that video. Absolutely fire deck list from all top 8 contenders of this tournament. Jeix is on DIVA Zombies. Before we get into the games, let us know in the comments who you think is going to win. Let us know. And also, while you're at it, subscribe. Subscribe. Tell the people, James. Tell them what to do. Tell them what to do.
Let us know. Let us know if you love heroes, you love zombies, any of that, and let's get into the game.
Let's get into the game. All right. Uh, this is winner side finals. This is, um, you know, both players are in winners. That's
And in the
how that
finals.
works. And in the finals. The loser of this will go to losers finals. And then the winner of losers finals plays 2 sets, potentially, against the winner of this set. I
Correct.
believe that's how that works. Yeah, yeah. Awesome. So ProStorm wins the rock, paper, scissors. Oh, are we showing hands for the people? We're showing the hands,
Yeah,
right?
let's show them.
All right, show both. Okay, cool.
Give
Awesome.
the most accurate analysis here.
Do you want to give a quick analysis before we continue the game? After you see the
Let's
hands?
let's talk analysis. I mean, ProStorm's hand is actually like pretty slow, but at the same time can like get a good lockdown going with the bribe and skill drain. But you just don't have a lot of reaction to any big monster that Jax could put down. I mean,
My biggest issue with this
if I'm
hand
him,
is there's no alias. There's no alias.
yeah. I mean, as soon as you find any one of those Rhoda you call whatever, I mean, I'm probably inclined to like do something like honest set three if I'm him.
Yeah, yeah, something along those lines. It could also be like honest, just set one or set none even. It could also just be set nothing. Just it could be anything. Could be anything. Let's see what he does. Let's see what he does. Yeah, looks like he went with the honest set, just the skill drain. Interesting. Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't want to be forced to like use this bribe too early on a heavy storm or something. Is there a reason you?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I could see that. On the other hand, I do like Jykes' hand quite a bit. I actually think it's a pretty strong hand. He's got.
Yeah, I mean, go on.
Sorry, no, you're good. You're good. What were you gonna say?
I mean, he has a lot, like he found the goblin zombie, so I think that really sets him up for anything. Because I mean, it's maybe a little like attacking here, like you get caught by a deep prison, then you're like kind of boned, although you have the burial, but like then you're using it in a way you don't really want.
you also have
Um,
book. You also have book. So if you're trading a book for a deep
oh,
prison,
true, true, true.
you
Yeah, you
might
have
you
book.
might you
That's
might be all right with that.
nah, you're definitely fine with that for
S-
sure.
yeah, setting this bribe might not setting this bribe might come back to end up biting ProStorm if he gets end phased wing blast. What wing blasted? Wing wind
Mhm.
wind blast Phoenix. If this happens to him, not having that bribe down might actually be a bit of an unfortunate circumstance to say the least.
Yeah, I imagine he's gonna want to save it, so I'm not so worried about that. But hitting the alias is definitely good. I mean, they both kind of hit their cards to start their engine, so it's not just like a blowout where one person doesn't get going. He summons it into a potential bottomless, but nothing happens.
Yeah, nothing happens. I don't know if he knows Jykes' list at this point. I don't think the lists were public, so he just said fuck it.
Right.
It was
Well,
definitely
and
gonna
vice
be.
versa. Like if Jykes knew Prostorm was on hero, I feel like that turn one set was almost definitely honest. So maybe there's no reason to attack there if that's the case.
Yeah, or maybe he doesn't know his exact list. Maybe he thinks it's a snowman eater,
Sure,
which was another reason he attacked with the goblin zombie. I could see that.
totally.
Jykes searching Spirit Reaper, that's gonna look pretty embarrassing in the face of this skill drain. But
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, it definitely stalls out a little bit, but I wonder about like something like a second goblin zombie even there, you know?
yeah, yeah, totally. I honestly even a Mizuki,
Mizuki,
yeah,
yeah, Mizuki.
because you have the wing blast, like being able to get
Yeah.
get a not free
Well, getting the
discard.
Ill-Blood Engrave is pretty good.
Yeah, that is pretty good. if this Book of Life is ever going to get through this double Hero Blast. I mean, it might. I don't know. Prostorm attacks with Alias, activates Skill Drain after attack declaration. Jeix tries to Wing Blast, and that's met with the Dark Bribe.
Yeah, and so he does this after attack deck because Jeix won't have the opportunity to Mirror Force because he's already kind of missed the attack deck. But I believe what happens here, if I'm just remembering the game, is there's actually another chain before damage to because
Yes.
the bribe resolves,
Yeah.
and I believe he decides to use that brook just to keep his Reaper on the field
Yeah.
and maybe turn off Spark on his turn.
Also, just to give him a non-tuner, he has a Deep Sea Diva in his hand.
Uh-huh.
He might be just trying to stick a beater and hope it goes
Yeah.
all the way. Yeah. So,
And it turns out the honest too.
it does. Yeah. True facts. True facts. And here we do see that. We see the Diva and the Spear Reaper making an Ally of Justice Cataster. That's going to attack over this Alias. Book of Life, an interesting one, because I don't think Hero Blast or Crow fully stop it. I think you do get to resolve the effect.
Yeah, you still get the card back, but Prostorm just basically wants to keep his. I think more so than like wanting his Alias back in hand, he wants to make sure that second Hero Blast is going to stay alive and the Miracle Fusion.
Yeah. Unlucky for him, though, Jeix did draw for turn Bottomless Trap Hole. And
Yeah,
that's just going to be tough. Otherwise, this Skyscraper and this Honest might have got him to a more stable position.
totally.
Instead, now
Yeah, the
he's
Skyscraper actually could have come up really big there.
yeah. Instead, now he's facing huge amount of damage, and his draw for turn being bottomless, obviously a little awkward in the face of two monsters already in play. So
Well, you can really see Jike's executing a solid game plan here where, he knows the skill drain's up. He knows that ProStorm is stuck on some fairly reactive cards. I mean, he can identify that the Miracle Fusion and Hero Blast have been dead in the hand since turn one. He knows the other one's honest. So, like, his plan just, like, put bigger monsters on board that are bigger than these hero stat lines and just keep pushing before ProStorm can find the answers.
yeah, totally. Lucky for ProStorm, he's able to find a Rhoda and get another Alias in play. So his Skyscraper plan might actually get him out of this sort of tough situation.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like what we talked about on the previous turn. Runs over the Cataster.
Yeah, yeah, he actually had a fair amount of draws there. I mean, I was like, oh, the Alias is kind of lucky, and it is good with the Hero Blast, but he had Rhoda E-calls, and even the one Captain Gold, I believe, would have been good because he could have summoned it with the Skyscraper or under Skill.
Yeah. Captain Gold is not destroyed while Skill Drain is face up and no Skyscraper, but yeah. He would have had the Skyscraper regardless, but okay, so Jike's picking up Caius the Shadow Monarch. Kind of like a slight upgrade, if anything, on this board, but it will actually give him two beaters, one might say, thanks to this Foolish on a Mizuki. And this is also really, really interesting, too, because I'm assuming what he's going to do is he's going to banish the Mizuki for Goblin Zombie Saga for Caius. If ProStorm opts to bottomless the Caius,
Well, yeah, I was gonna say as you were saying that, like, I don't think he's gonna do that really because he knows one of them is gonna get blocked by Honest, and then ProStorm would have the easy opportunity the next turn to swing over the other one with Skyscraper.
that's true. That's true. I get that.
So I think he's probably gonna use this Mizuki kind of more defensively, I guess you could say, but or just and it also well, I guess he doesn't have to use it at all here. It would just be kind of blocking damage with a Goblin, but maybe
Yeah.
it's better to put two big guys on his turn.
Yeah, totally. The draw for ProStorm being another Honest,
That's really good.
that is really, really good for him. It might actually close this game out because he's getting in 1900 points here. It's gonna
Yeah,
put
puts Jikes to exactly 19.
19. Gores is gonna get something. I don't know if does Gores get the token when skill drains face
No, it
up?
doesn't. I think they realize it quickly after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Um,
he's
yeah, I mean that honest is so brutal because like in this situation, you're already just kind of trying to push as many guys as you can through the back rows, and there's no way you're gonna play around the second honest here. Like, no chance.
yeah. I mean
Out of 30 cards, like
the only way you could do it
28.
really is like Heavy Storm, and that's not what was drawn. So I have a feeling that someone's gonna be dead here in a few moments, and we're gonna be going to a game two.
Yeah,
Brutal.
and I mean that's just That's an unfortunate one, right? Like he can't. I mean, maybe not blocking the damage the turn prior, but I totally understand. Like he had the gores also, so
Yeah, yeah, that was tough. That's really, really tough. I'm a little interested in his play to go for the um, ill blood and not the goblin zombie, and then sack for Caius and try to do that, or try to get a plague circulated so he could like make a Stardust or something eventually. But I mean, it's respectable. It's respectable. Um,
I think the big thing that I might have done differently there is search the other goblin zombie of the first one, because then you could like protect it for a turn, and that normal summon diva make a synchro play would have been just like a million times stronger.
yeah, because synchroing with the Spear Reaper is not great, but synchroing with the goblin zombie is amazing. It's I believe there's
Yeah,
like the combo. I mean, assuming you didn't have skill drain, the combo is you summon a diva, get a second diva, synchro with the first goblin zombie, make Bionic, search Mizuki, pitch Mizuki, bring back a goblin zombie, make another 6 star, and then you have two 6 stars basically for 2 cards, and you get a search on top of all that. So that's pretty cool. What do you think these guys sided here? I mean, we know their side decks. So what did you
I,
think?
I I also just, I mean, not to dwell on the subject, but I also just want to say I think it would have also changed the course in a few different ways because he wouldn't have had to wind blast the skill drain. He could have just let that attack go through or booked it.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
but anyway, siding, um,
He also
probably DD Crows from ProStorm.
He also could have saved even back to it again. He also could have saved the Book of Moon to force through an effect activation on skill drain.
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, yeah. But yes, so probably DD Crows from Pro Storm. You said right?
Yeah, yeah. If there's other kind of, I mean, he's probably not siding like Banish or anything like that, but any other Banish effects. I guess we could go back to the actual list and check
Yeah, we
those
could
things.
we could we could check this. Should we do this? Should we be doing this right now? Is
I could
this?
pull it up, but we could just go through. I'll look it up while we're
Yeah,
talking.
we'll start the game. We'll start the game. All right, Jeix is gonna get to go first this game. Maybe that will give him a little bit more of an advantage. We get to see one of the side cards right off the bat in
Yeah.
Dust Tornado, which is going to be huge. That skill drain was a huge decider in game one. So just having an extra out to that is going to be really important.
Yep. And I think Knock actually, yeah, is definitely a card that could come in from Pro Storm. So this Summon Sangan, Set Torrential, play that we've been doing since 2003. Uh, just the classics.
Yeah, a smart play because something like a knock here would you would feel it. You would feel it. I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but you would definitely feel it. You know?
So just if you pause quickly, Pro Storm has items like Dolmen of Crossout, Thunder King Ryo, and Transmigration Prophecy. I think those are the main ones that would be coming in. There's only one copy of each of those things. I would say his main deck is pretty. Also, Royal Oppression is sided, not main. So I think Royal Oppression is coming in for sure. Um, and for Jykes, he has stuff like Dust Tornado, Pulling the Rug. I mean, I don't think you really use that against Stratos, but some people might. Deep Prisons could just be good one for one answers. Cyber Dragons, Crows, and Raya. So Jykes actually has a lot of pretty decent tools here.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I think the Dust Tornadoes definitely come in. I think the Ryos probably come in. Did you say he had Cyber Dragons? Did he say he had yeah,
Yeah, two
those
Cyber Dragons.
those probably definitely come in too. Although that might run into an oppression. We'll see. We'll see. Uh Prostorm gonna summon the alias. Now, James, before I hit play, are you torrentialing here?
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Yeah? So's Jykes. So's Jykes heads up plate.
I think just not having them able to like spark or honest or anything on your turn is just really gonna be. I mean, that's what shuts you down.
Yeah, totally. If I'm Jykes, I'm actually probably searching for a Goblin Zombie here. We'll see what he ends up picking. It might be a Spear Reaper too, because he might have the
I
DZS as the kids.
I think Goblin Zombie is probably the search. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, Pyramid
No.
Turtle. Pyramid Turtle, kind of the same thing. Kind of the same thing. Here's Future
Well, that's a
Fusion.
great. Yeah, that's a great follow up, and I mean, yeah, I think not that the sequencing really mattered there, but like just not letting your opponent, because honestly, maybe it did matter because if he had Future Fusion first, I think there's a really reasonable line that Jake's like doesn't torrential the alias and waits for that zero to come out to try to torrential that.
Well, also like do you really want to future fusion into unknown back row? Like
Right, right.
yeah, like that's not something I'd be super excited about doing.
Yeah.
He sends Captain Gold and Elemental Hero Ocean. This is a play I saw him do a couple times in the tournament when he has Call of the Haunted. So in the draw phase, he'll do something like Call of the
Yeah.
Haunted, the Ocean, and he opts not to set the Call of the Haunted, which is fair. Playing around Heavy Storm a little bit. Wow, what a draw! What a really impressive um, draw from jeix. Let's see if he tries to mill two darks here. Do you know the circumstances of this game, James? Do you have the intel?
Uh, I don't remember the specific interaction, but
All right. Well, I guess we're gonna find out here together. There's one dark, and there's two. Oh my! That's so insane. And you know why this is so insane too is because he has the return. So, oh my, oh my God. I'm honestly a little surprised he's not just slamming the dark armed, but
well, I think being able to dust shadow a back row beforehand is pretty good.
and here's that nobleman of crossfire you were talking about.
Hmm.
Kind of not not a good draw in some of these positions. Uh,
Yeah, for sure. I'm also especially surprised. Well, never mind. He didn't have the dark arm yet. I was gonna say because Goblin Zombie would have been another dark. Yeah, I am kind of surprised he didn't search the Goblin Zombie.
yeah.
But maybe he's thinking about like worst case if Prostorm has like skill drain and a bunch of back row, he could always just like set the pyramid and be a little more protected. I don't know.
Well, yeah. Pyramid would get the ill blood directly into play in the damage step around stuff like bottomless and whatnot. Though he had the
Yeah,
return, so I don't know.
yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. All right, so the draw for turn was a copy of Nobleman. That's right. It wasn't Deep Prison. He shuffled his hand. So he's just gonna full send. He's just gonna set everything
What
but
was
the
the card?
bottomless.
He said Hero Blast and
Deep.
next to the Future Vision. Okay,
Yeah,
that
Hero
makes sense because he's
Blast.
all kind of hedging for Storm there. Like he can always get the
Yeah,
Get the Neo Salius back.
Deep
I
Prison.
was just thinking why he didn't set the Deep Prison right off.
For sure, for sure. I was thinking this turn you would actually set the bottomless. Um, I was thinking this turn you would actually set the bottomless because I don't know. It just makes sense to like if he has something like Caius. You know what I mean? Like maybe he doesn't sack for Caius here, but like he's gonna be forced to do something to deal with this future fusion, right? Like so I feel like setting the bottomless now is when you would want to get it into play. And the Call of the Haunted, you could get down at a later point when things are a little bit less. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but
Well, I don't think it's incorrect to think that like you might as well just set the bottomless as well. Like you're kind of getting blown out by Storm either way. So
yeah, yeah, and yeah, might as well just set five. Actually, that's kind of the point. In any case, we're probably gonna see a dark armed question mark. Maybe an allure
yeah,
first. He might allure first. Oh no, he doesn't. He says fuck
yeah,
it.
kind of surprising he doesn't allure first for a couple reasons, and I'll tell you why. Like one, he could draw Heavy Storm.
Although
I mean, maybe you'd rather
keep the return. Yeah,
and just pop a Dark Arm, but still, I just feel like setting even like an MST,
yeah.
um, like I don't imagine the Gale being so valuable,
Well,
but
also
also,
banishing the gale turns your return on.
exactly. So when you dad and if you pop one of these back row and it's like MST, then you could chain.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, um, interesting sequencing. Not gonna end up mattering. I don't think. I think this is just game, right? Like,
Pretty sure, yeah, he just
yeah,
pops three and then returns.
yeah. That's insane.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
so insane.
definitely regretting not setting the bottoms.
Well, this is why Dad Return was had an entire format named after it. Uh,
Yeah.
you're seeing it in limited copies here, but still just as busted as ever. Getting that plus whatever, and he draws a Foolish Burial. That's disgusting. Does that even?
Yeah, it's
Oh my god. Oh my god. What he could do here is he could actually Foolish any dark monster in his deck, banish it for Dad, target his own return, and then
mhm.
chain the return.
It's funny you say that because that kind of comes up in one of these other matches.
Does it really? Interesting.
Yeah.
That would be. I mean, that's a play and a half if you ask me. But I'd still probably go for the allure here. You don't know if he has gores, and yep,
Yeah.
looks like that's what jeix is gonna do.
Also, it's kind of a small thing, but I would probably have like priority dark arm, and then you could use trooper effect after it, you know, instead of just dark arming again right away.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. That's definitely something you could have done there. Because if he was gonna stop the first dark armed effect, or if he was gonna
Yeah.
stop dark armed, he would have stopped it on the first effect, basically.
Yeah,
So yeah,
exactly.
yeah, that
It
is
just
stuff.
fuels your darks, and then what happened with the hero blast? Like he would have had the extra mills, you know.
Yep, yep. Something to consider, for sure. I totally missed it, so
But I think it's like so. I mean, it's so game either way.
yeah. At this point, you're probably just looking at that return and like salivating. No cap. That's fucking disgusting. Oh my goodness. It only gets more gross from here, ladies and gentlemen. If your children are watching this video, cover their eyes. What is he doing here with stacking for? Why is he doing this? Oh,
I mean, he just wants to get a Goyo down and have the ability to recycle the plague, but also that Cyber Dragon is not doing anything. So this does help him make an extra synchro. It's not like super. None of this is super necessary. We can tell seeing the hand, and
yeah.
also
We're just
Hero
gonna
Beat doesn't play Gores.
yeah.
Like
We're gonna fast forward a little bit. All right, cool, cool, cool. Game three, game three. Do you think Prostorm sided those knocks out?
no, he doesn't. Again, he doesn't have that much stuff in the side, so I think that they're probably staying in.
There's that oppression you were talking about.
Yeah,
E-call for Stratos. Stratos probably gets Alias. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, it gets Ocean because you have the Miracle. That makes sense.
sure.
Does shoot on the plate. Normally really, really good, but against this hand, it's kind of like he kind of just has two dudes and they kind of just do the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I remember watching this game and like thinking that there was some like I wasn't completely sure. I think he ends up taking Goblin Zombie, if I'm not mistaken. Um,
Valid.
or no. He ends up taking. I remember what he ends up taking. But I remember thinking he should have taken the other one.
We'll find out here shortly as soon as ProStorm makes a decision. He says, think. Hit tomato. He hits tomato. I actually agree with that. I think Goblin Zombie, when it dies, it doesn't leave something in play. Whereas tomato leaves something in play and it allows him to maybe tribute summon something, right? Like a
Yeah,
Caius.
it. Now that I'm looking at it, maybe that was fine. I don't know. I just remember thinking it was a little odd that like Tomato seems a little easier to disrupt and uh like with a Gemini Spark or something, although he doesn't have any of that stuff.
Yeah, it does
Um,
give away information that you took the tomato instead of the Goblin Zombie. I will say that. Um,
I think it's interesting from Jake's that he didn't just start to go in with the Cyber Dragon there.
he probably understands that the back row is Royal Oppression because he didn't take the Cyber Dragon.
Yeah, or something, a bottomless even. Like I mean, I just think that a lot of players would have just been like 1800 beater on the board. I have 2100. Let me try.
Yeah, but because he has Dust Tornado, because he has the
Fair.
ability to play around it on the following turn, I think it's absolutely fine that he does this. And I think
Yeah,
it's
yeah. There's not
actually
a lot of pressure.
I think it's actually a really smart play too because
I agree.
If the Cyber Dragon does stick, it's very good here. So
Oh, I totally agree. It's more like I think a lot of people would have done that wrong.
yeah, bottomless on the ocean, really really tough for ProStorm because that's gonna cut him off of his Miracle Fusion. Uh, one thing that I know this is like kind of weird, but he could have just like not played that guy. You know what I mean? He could have just like not
For
summoned it.
sure.
You know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
also, it's a little weird because, like, he knew that one of the potential sets was force.
Well, he also knew that he also knew that it was bottomless too, and he had nothing like you know what I'm saying? Like he
Well,
knew
I mean, he knew the three. He only set two. He knew it was. I feel like Dust Tornado is almost a guaranteed set there, so then it's just a gamble between force and bottomless. In some ways, I feel like it's almost more likely to be force. So, like, I don't know.
yeah. So summoning there is just
Doesn't seem like it's going to be a good result either way. If he
yeah.
forces, then, like, sure, you have your miracle alive, but, like, is that worth it?
If he summons there, so here's something I'm thinking about. If he summons there and it's not bottomless, or he doesn't bottomless the hero, do you just not attack too? Like that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's kind of something I was thinking about too.
Yeah, not
Because
saving the dust for the royal oppression is interesting, but maybe he just didn't have that read. Maybe he was just
yeah.
yeah.
Well, again, it could have been bottomless or something, but but given what happened too, like yeah, I don't know that you swing into the goblin zombie. You kind of get saved here by drawing but like it both turns the cyber dragon on and gives him a search of Reaper or another goblin or Mizuki or like anything to make his engine live. So
Yeah, totally, totally. What's kind of crazy here is the draw is Nobleman, which is gonna get rid of this Reaper, and then there's a Tragodia, which is gonna be a 0/0, like kind of useless. But
yeah,
the Mirror Force is gonna be really good at stabilizing for Jykes, and then the rest of Prostorm's hand is like dead cards. Once the Stratos is out of
yeah,
play, so even though Prostorm is up 5 cards, he has like much lower activity, and that might bite him. That knock was a good draw though. It's like one of the better draws you could have there for sure.
for sure. I mean, like like happened in the game before, like yeah, I know, scary ass card.
Oh my god, that's
Um,
so crazy.
like
That's
happened
so
in the game
crazy.
before, he does have he calls Rhoda's Neo's Alias. Like all those are very good draws here. So,
Well, it's just funny because like he drew knock and then he draws return, which is like
yeah,
the only thing that could really punish you for having
yes,
knock is return.
yes. And now I feel like Jake's didn't Mirror Force last turn. I feel like but now I feel like he understands his game plan. He like
Oh my
he
god. Draw Mizuki is that the
well just like he's got to play towards the return, right? Like
Well, I mean that's what this deck should do. Yeah, it should play like almost like you know, it's like a soul charge in a sense. And
yeah. So I mean, he just doesn't want
yeah.
to get beat down by the Stratos.
Yeah. Yes.
But Mizuki was a very strong draw.
Yeah,
So
very, very good draw. That's going to be able to bring back the Goblin Zombie, and then he's going to be able to recur the Mizuki with this return somewhere in the
yeah,
near
and
future.
can even do something like crash the Goblin Zombie for a plague then and
So
start
this
going to town there.
this Rhoda finds Alias, which is interesting. It
Hmm.
means that Prostorm values this Honest and this Miracle Fusion, or no, sorry, this Honest and this Hero Blast more than he values the Miracle Fusion, which is interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's two cards against one,
It
and
is 2 cards, but like is Honest and Hero Blast worth getting an absolute 0 in play? Something to think about.
well,
Definitely
he
something.
also couldn't like what is he gonna do with the ocean if he searches it? Set it?
Summon it, find Skyscraper, then attack.
Oh, sure, fine
Yeah,
skyscraper, sure.
yeah. He could also just summon it and then Miracle, like if he really wanted to, but that's stupid. I feel like just summon it, search the thing, or whatever would be
Sure.
fine.
Yeah,
So the draw is Space
maybe
Typhoon,
side one out.
which is going to be perfect. Yeah, maybe he did. I could see that. I could definitely see that. Space Typhoon, especially because actually I don't know why. I don't know why I could
I
see
don't
that.
know. Yeah, I feel like you should keep both of them. Maybe he did side it.
I don't know. Sets Typhoon, which is yet again another great card for his game plan here.
Yeah,
Um, kind of
they're
exactly
aligning.
exactly
And
what
see,
you want.
yeah, I remember. I feel like this was the problem with this game because you saw you you dust shooted him and you saw that hand, and I feel like the only way Jeix was like gonna stay in this game is like getting his engine live. You know what I mean? Like getting this goblin triggers and like going through his deck,
Well,
and not the return stuff. I mean, you can't guess that he's gonna draw all the return stuff. But I feel like there's some turns here that ProStorm could have just not attacked.
yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, are you winning the game if he top decks a Caius too? Like you're probably assuming he's on 3 Caius. He's not. He's on 2 Caius, but like
Right.
Caius is on the Alias is just that's so nasty. You can't
Sure.
really afford to leave a tribute monster in play given your
I guess
hand
that's true.
and given
Yeah.
your situation. And this is just a series of really really powerful limited limited spells and traps. Hey
Yeah.
man, Zombie's best deck. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
And I think that's the right play too, going for Mistworm.
I think so too. I think it's absolutely correct.
Because it like guarantees that this Brionic's gonna get in clear, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And this is kind of why Return from the Different Dimension is one of the scariest, if not the scariest, trap cards in the game. And
But honestly, mostly well played by both guys all these games. Like the errors were quite small or arguable. Like I think both these guys played pretty well. It's just honestly, hero type decks don't have a very good matchup against decks that can put up a bunch of floaters and like wall out like this.
Yeah, and surprisingly, like this zombie deck, like the kind of the strength of the hero deck, right, is like the skill drain, right?
Yep.
And it's also the absolute zero. And absolute zero against a goblin zombie is like not even that great. And skill drain against they zombies doesn't have issues putting out like a 6-star the Caius or a Synchro or something, or even a Cyber Dragon and just going to town. So well played to both guys. Again, very marginal errors, if any. Two very powerful duelists. And we'll see you guys for the grand finals replay review here in a little bit. Smash like, subscribe.
Sure.
Peace.